What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Shop Talk Tuesday Live. Had a pretty crazy weekend this past week, and what about you guys? How's everybody doing? Sorry if my internet is really slow tonight. What's up, Nicholas? What's up, Joshua? Hey, Jeremy, how you doing? Chris, what's going on? Chris, that's hilarious. Hopefully, hopefully me. I mean, Judge Judy, she's kind of cool too. That's hilarious. Well, I have some pretty cool things in store for tonight. Um, I wanted to, hey Chris, appreciate that, but I wanted to go over a few things with the contest. I'm really excited about the contest. I hope all of you are excited about the contest as well. If you haven't heard about the contest, essentially what it is, I think we're gonna go with Nathan's. There's another guy, Nathan. He suggested hashtag cheapskate. What do you say? Uh, what was it? What was it, Hein? Do you remember? It was something cheapskate. I have to look it up. Hold on, let me get to it. But anyway, we have to come up with a name with it. It's the cheapskate something or other. Anyway, so if the contest, what it is you can go to any store that you want that has epoxy. You have to build an epoxy project, but you can only get you can only get all of your materials from one store. No online. It has to be a brick and mortar store. I'm sorry if you guys don't have a store that has epoxy. Uh, most people, there's a Home Depot close to most people in the United States, and I'm not really sure about any other place, but it should be a really fun contest. What?
You mentioned Lowe's or Michael's or Walmart.
Yeah, the stores that we have locally, it's a good point, Aaron, thank you. Some stores that we have locally are Home Depot, Lowe's, and Michael's. I know those three for sure have epoxy. And also, I was thinking about this. Now, I'm sure, that you could order things online and pick it up in the store if they don't have it in stock. So that would be a one tip around, to get around the rules. Like, for example, Walmart. If you have a Walmart near you, I know that they sell some things online. You can have it shipped to your house. I mean, excuse me, shipped to the store, and then you could take it to your house. There we go. And Jeremy, I'm right there with you, buddy. But as my wife says, you can usually get some coupons or whatever to get it like 40 or 50% off at Michael's.
Oh yeah, you can get them on. Just look it up on your phone.
Yeah, you can just look them up on your phone. So that's what she says. So you can get it right there, get the price down, because I know Michael's is pretty expensive. However, they have resin and all kinds of cool stuff there. Hey, Jeremy, why do you hate Michael's so much?
Or Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby is also a good one. They have resin there as well.
Coupons.
And coupons. Thanks, honey. So, Jeremy said saved a lot of money there, but it's so difficult to find things in that store. Yeah, yeah, it really is. I feel like, well, because I don't go there that often, Home Depot, I'm just right in. I know where everything is, and I can bounce pretty quickly. Uh, Michael Goodwin says Home Depot for me is a 120-mile round trip. Lowe's is 7-hour round trip. I live way out in the boonies. Wow, that is really really far. Where do you live, bro? Chris asked, "Is there a dollar? Is there a dollar limit?" No, no. It's up to you, man. It is up to you. You can spend as much or as little as you want. So, I may give some hints away as to what I'm gonna do, but I would encourage you guys to, just build something that you have wanted to build. And I'm always trying to find the cheapest way possible. So you guys can use scraps if you have scraps or any materials you have at home already, as long as anything you buy comes from a brick and mortar store. Nicholas, way is an understatement. Michael says a little town in southeast Arizona. Well, buddy, I'm real sorry. Do you have any kind of hardware store close to you? Ace Hardware or something like that? Maybe, what's another one that we have around here? Yeah, I don't know. So I think we just have Ace. Hey, Chris, you gonna hire me? Well, I may have to say pass on that one. I have too many projects lined up already. Nicholas says, I'm from Alabama. I thought the whole state was in the boonies, but he says, but you got me best on that one, bro. Okay, well, hey, Michael, you do have Ace. Maybe you can have something that you could order something online, have it shipped to the store. Yeah, that's a good point too, Chris. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Looks like Walmart has it too online, like you said, they might be able to ship it to the store.
Yeah. Hey guys, hold on for 1 second. I gotta go get the tool that I was gonna talk about. I left it. Be right back. Hey, it was called cheapskate. What was it? Hashtag cheapskate.
I don't know, I've never heard that term before.
Hey guys, sorry. I don't know why I left it over there on the floor by accident, but here's the tool I was talking about. It may look backwards in the camera, I'm not sure, but to me it looks backwards, but it's a rigid 5-inch random orbit sander. Uses the 18-volt batteries. Well, I was going to the store and I saw this sitting on the display and I was like, sweet. I really like battery powered tools because obviously if you're somewhere where you don't have a plug or your extension cord is taken up by something else, power outlet, whatever, they always come in handy. But there's a few reasons why, even though this thing was like $49 and relatively inexpensive for a tool, don't waste your money on this thing because there's a few things that kind of irritated me about this tool. And my wife can attest to this, that first of all, on a fully charged new battery, good battery, it dies in like 10 minutes, right? Wasn't it like 10 minutes the thing
Yeah,
dies? 10 to 15 minutes, it's done. Oh, hey, Michael, sorry about that. I want to make sure I get to the comments. Michael says you missed the beginning of the video. It's all good. We're right here near the beginning. I mean, I just started, but I was just talking about the contest. We're doing a contest, and I came up with this contest the other couple of weeks ago, just thinking about some things, and I wanted to interact with you guys. And essentially, the contest is to make an epoxy project or build something using epoxy, but you have to get all the materials from the same store. That's the trick. So it's going to be kind of difficult. You're going to have to use some what I call redneck ingenuity, and see what you can build using epoxy and so I know you guys, some of you guys are really creative, um, and I'm excited to see what you guys have, what you build. It's going to be really fun for me. And then what we'll do is my wife and I will choose the top 3 projects, and we will post a poll on YouTube after that, and we'll let you guys decide who's the winner. And from the couple of guys that were talking last week, they said that they were fine without getting a prize. But what I want to send you guys, at least send you guys a T-shirt. So that'll be the first place winner. Will get a Good View Woodworks T-shirt. We'll send that out to you. So I'm excited about this contest. But the whole video, what I wanted to display was that this tool that I bought was a piece of and and not worth the $50 that I paid for it. So Jeremy says, I'm finally going to get to open my DeWalt table saw tonight or tomorrow. Jeremy, that's awesome. It's really cool opening a new tool. It's like Christmas, Michael says, I'm new to your channel, just subbed earlier today. Well, hey, Michael. Hey, man, I really appreciate that, bud. As far as subscribers, I'm a little low on the totem pole there, but it's really fun for me, and I really enjoy talking to you guys each Tuesday and posting up a video each week. And I have a good time doing it. So hopefully you guys have a good time watching. So, well, anyway, back to the sander. So first reason was doesn't hold a charge for very long, and when you do turn it on, even though there's this little dial here that you can set the adjustment to to kind of tone it down so it doesn't sand so aggressively. This thing sands so aggressively you can't hold on to it. It wants to vibrate and shake out of your hands, even on the lowest setting. Like, you can't keep it down on the wood. It'll, I don't know, leaves divots. It's really terrible. You may think that, hey Nathan, you're pretty weak, you can't hold a sander down. And I second guessed myself too. I had to go lift some weights real quick to make sure I wasn't a weakling. But it's uncontrollable. It's crazy. I don't know if it's just off balance or whatever. What did you say, honey?
It pulls.
Yeah, and Aaron says it pulls like really hard, and it's just crazy. Hey, TR, thanks, brother. I really appreciate that. Chris, yes, I did. Yes, that was really awesome, man. Thank you. Michael says, you guys all had to start somewhere, and I think you'll do just fine. You have a good personality. Hey, thanks, man. That makes me feel all warm inside, all good and stuff. I appreciate it, bud. Jeremy asks, what is a good lower priced orbital sander? I'm needing to get one too. Hey, buddy. I use, as a matter of fact, I have a Craftsman that I got probably 7 years ago. I've had it for a long time, and that thing works great. Like, I can't kill it. Not that I'm trying to kill it, but I've sanded many projects, and it's lasted me. I think it was like, I don't know, $50 or something. Hey Nathan, what's going on, man? How are you doing? Nathan, what was that you mentioned? The name for the giveaway or the contest. What was it? The cheapskate something. What was it? Do you remember? Chris says, we're only here because your wife sounds cool, so LOL. Oh, you guys are hilarious. Did you hear that, Aaron?
No. Sorry.
Chris said, we're only here because your wife sounds cool. So, LOL. uh, Chris, you're funny, man. Yeah, that was a while ago. Nathan, do you remember? So anyway, the sander, like I said, it was so uncontrollable that it's pretty much worthless. As a matter of fact, I think I've only used it like 4 or 5 times. I keep going back to it thinking like maybe I just didn't have the settings right, or maybe I wasn't doing something right. And nope, it sucks every time I use it. So it's terrible. So if you guys ever, maybe if you guys have any suggestions on, uh, like battery powered sanders, orbital sanders, let me know. Send a comment or send a comment my way or whatever. Oh, Nathan finally commented. If you guys see it, he says it was called the Cheapskate Challenge. That was the word I was looking for. Great. So if you guys are in the challenge, do me a favor and do a hashtag. So if you guys post it on social media anywhere, do a hashtag Cheapskate Challenge, and I'll make sure I link it up in the description later when I go back and edit all the description for this video. So that way everybody can see everyone else's stuff that they submit too. Chris says, I bought a Bosch sander for my wife that we haven't been able to use yet. It's corded though. Anybody like Bosch? I will say that I have used a Bosch sander. As a matter of fact, the guy that taught me a lot when it comes to woodworking, he has Bosch tools, and they're great. Yeah. Nathan says I use sandpaper and lots and lots and lots and lots and of elbow grease. Hey man, don't be getting no grease on that wood. It's gonna mess it up. Yeah. You know what? I will say there are some times when hand sanding comes in clutch because I never use a power sander for edges. I like the way it looks when things are hand sanded. It's just my style. I like when it isn't so uniform. I want it to look sometimes, depending on what it is, sometimes I want it to look a little, handmade and not machine made. So I always hand sand the edges to round them over. I rarely use a trim router to round over the edges. I will tell you, give you an update on that buffet server too. That thing is finally coming to an end. I got both of the doors in the center mounted today, so I still have to make the outside doors in the drawer. Once that's done, sand and finish, and I'm done. And I would have had a lot more done this weekend. However, I may post a video. I don't know. I got some video this past weekend, but I went on a trip with my church to a youth conference, and I got to be in charge of all the high school boys, which was great and hilarious at the same time. We had a blast for like 3 days. Nathan, great tip, man. And yeah, I do the same thing. Nathan says I cut up the old rolls of sandpaper from my power sander and hand sand with that. Yeah, I do the same thing. I have a problem of holding on to stuff for too long. And I feel like even if you have like a piece of 80 grit that's worn out, I feel like I feel like, oh, it's still rough. I can still use it. And I use it for other things. But eventually I have to throw it away, obviously. Hey Jeremy, Hey, you're right, bro. You know, I think about that's in the back of my head all the time. Jeremy said, "Take much longer on that project for your mom. She's gonna take you out of her will." Oh, that's hilarious. And right too. She probably will. So, mom, if you're listening to me, please don't take me out of your will. It's getting done as fast as I can get it done. Sorry it's taking so long. Oh, you guys are hilarious. Man. Yeah, Nicholas, it sure does. 80 grit turns into 1,000 over time. Yeah, eventually it keeps getting worn down. And then it turns into just white paper eventually. Hey, yes, Chris, I did get it's leaning up in my shop as a matter of fact. And I did start work. So what the owner did was uh, I took some 1/4 inch birch plywood and laid it out and traced it around the slab, and I gave it to him. And he is going to put it in his boat and measure it out and make sure. And he's going to cut it to width the piece that I traced. He's going to cut it to width and send it back so I know what size to make it. Um, all right, I'll get you a pic. I'll do that. Um, I have to send it to you, but it'll probably be tomorrow before I do that. So, guys, thanks for watching. It's been a blast tonight. I can't believe this video has already been 22 minutes long. It's crazy. It's so much fun to come and talk to you guys on Tuesday, and gals. I don't know who else watching. Sometimes we have a few ladies that come on in the evening too and watch. So it's always a blast. It's like one of my favorite times during the week to come and talk to you guys. And this one, sorry it's not a tool that you guys could use, but I wanted to, if you guys are even looking and thinking about it, I wanted you to say, I wanted to tell you before you bought it, don't get it because it is terrible. And as did you guys see that? I just bumped my face with it. But I wanted you guys to say no to that thing and, maybe buy a different brand or something. But the rigid one is terrible. And hey, Chris, we have a CNC machine at work. And as a matter of fact, I used to operate CNC equipment at my job. So I've operated, I used to operate a 27-foot CNC press brake, which was crazy. That thing would press several tons per foot, which is crazy. I think it was like 275 tons per foot. It was nuts. And then I used to operate a CNC mill as well, a 5-axis machine. Yeah, that was pretty cool. So we have, X, Y, Z axis, but it also had 1 and 2. So when it would come down on Z, the head would rotate and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So it would cut all kinds of cool things. Yeah, Chris, CNC router. As a matter of fact, two of the guys at work made one from scratch. They bought the motors and stuff, but they built the frame and everything. And actually it has to be redone because they made it out of MDF, which is, it's strong enough, but it doesn't last. Flexes too much. Hey, Nathan, you got a CNC router? Really? What brand? Yeah, well, I have so many projects lined up that I think something like that might take me too long. uh, yeah, well, Well, guys, on that note, I gotta bounce up off of here. I want to thank you so much for watching. I don't know if you guys have seen, but it's been a little pixelated, and I'm sorry about that. We don't have the best internet service out here. We use a satellite, and sometimes, depending on the weather, it gets kind of terrible. Hey, Andy, it's all right, buddy. It's all right that you're late. I'm sorry I got to get off here, but better late than never. But guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for making me laugh. It's been awesome. I'm super excited to start seeing you all your projects for the Cheapskate Challenge. Thanks, Nathan, for hooking me up with the name too. You guys have a good evening, and check out the video later on this week. What I try to do, if you guys are new, I try to post a video every Friday. Well, I say every Friday, but sometimes I can't get to it on Friday. But my goal is to get you one at least every weekend, and then every Tuesday we go Shop Talk Live, and that way you guys can see what's going on behind the scenes every Tuesday. So, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.